I'd first just like to thank you all for coming out on this morning to be part of this wonderful swearing-in ceremony for our new director and my good friend and longtime colleague, Aaron Williams. Like quite a number of you, I expect, in this group, I began my now astonishingly long career in international development as a Peace Corps volunteer, as Elisa noted, in Bolivia, almost 40 years ago, working with the Aymara Indians on the Altiplano at an altitude of about 13,000 feet. And I want to tell you that living in your early 20s in a dusty and treeless village at that altitude in the Andes can truly affect your outlook on your life. It certainly taught me the enormous importance for all of us of patience and perseverance in life and in work. It certainly taught me a whole new real meaning of the words severe poverty and basic human needs. And I certainly learned more than I ever imagined possible about growing potatoes, shearing sheep, and raising chickens. But to just quickly fast forward 8 or 9 years, I found myself arriving in the USAID mission in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, where I began my foreign service career in USAID in a small office next to another dingy little office, which was occupied by this big, tall, lanky guy with an incredibly loud and distinctive laugh. I can still hear it today, and I'm 2 or 3 offices away.
The Peace Corps has transformed thousands of lives around the globe. Among them, the tens of thousands of Americans who have had an opportunity to serve as Peace Corps volunteers around the world, in Asia and Africa, Latin America, and in Eastern Europe. But it's also transformed the lives of millions and millions of others on 4 continents who have benefited from the service and the volunteerism that Peace Corps represents for our nation and for our people. My 3 years as a Peace Corps volunteer in Tanzania propelled me into a career into the Foreign Service. Just as Aaron's 3 years as a volunteer in the Dominican Republic propelled him into a career of public service and commitment and dedication to fighting poverty globally and improving the lives of people across the globe. His pioneering work as USAID director in South Africa during a period of enormous political transition and expectation, his careful stewardship earlier of USAID's Latin American Bureau, are all a testament to his many skills as a leader and as a manager. Very, very few have done better. Peace Corps is an enormously great organization and institution. It has had, as all of you know, a tradition of very great leaders. I'm proud to see a fellow PCV, a fellow Foreign Service officer, and a good friend and a neighbor from the south side of Chicago assume the leadership of this great institution. The baton of leadership that he picks up and assumes today is in careful and sure and steady hands. This organization this country and the people who serve as staff and as volunteers have in Aaron another great leader.
As I've come to know you, Aaron, and to know how highly and warmly those who have worked with you over the years, whether as a fellow Peace Corps volunteer or as a colleague in your outstanding work in economic development and education and international aid of all kinds, I say with confidence, you are the director of the Peace Corps that the 21st century Peace Corps needs today. As one who was there, had the great luck of being there at the creation, I know you're going to carry on that tradition of Sergeant Shriver. Sarge wanted the Peace Corps to fulfill President Kennedy's hope that it would grow into a major factor in promoting peace and friendship around the world. Kennedy prophesied, I was there when he first did it, he prophesied that when 100,000 volunteers served each year, and there would then be in time millions of Americans with firsthand experience in Asia, Africa, as he would say, and Latin America, having made important contributions to other lands. Then he said we would have for the first time a large constituency for an informed and good foreign policy. And this is even more crucial today. Shriver and Secretary of State Dean Rusk also had a warning that the Peace Corps would contribute to U.S. foreign policy to the extent that it was not seen as an instrument of foreign policy, but as an instrument of friendship and understanding and peace. Sergeant Shriver also aimed for the Peace Corps to be what he called the most unbureaucratic, he even on occasion said anti-bureaucratic agency of the federal government, with returned volunteers becoming the agency's mainstay and ever-renewing lifeblood. I think Congress is looking to the Peace Corps again to be that kind of a Peace Corps in full measure, even as it turns to the ripe old age of 50. I congratulate President Obama for choosing Aaron Williams. Aaron's experience in designing and managing assistance programs in Latin America, Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, and with his Peace Corps work in the late 60s in the Dominican Republic, is what we do need now as we enter the Peace Corps' second century. You were lucky, Aaron, to have led a $1 billion foreign assistance program as U.S. aid mission director in South Africa in the time of Nelson Mandela. You are lucky now to have this great new challenge in the administration of Barack Obama. And I'm lucky to have the pleasure of asking you and Rosa Williams to come to the stage for this ceremonial swearing in as the 18th Director of the United States Peace Corps and 4th Director who was a Peace Corps volunteer.